49ers fans, how are we doing? Those faithful to the Bay, how are we doing? Welcome back to C-Train Station. And look, Niners fans, it's time. It's here. It's training camp time. The time is now. And I have the latest reports from training camp, sort of the news around the Niners sphere. And let's start out. Let's have some fun. I've been hearing some very good things. Very good things. Positive report here. First of all, Brock Purdy, I think first and foremost, Brock Purdy is a new father. Congratulations to Brock and his wife and the Purdy family. He's a girl dad. Brock Purdy is now a girl dad. We love it. Welcome to the Niners family. Speaking of Brock Purdy, Brock has been diming. Yes, Brock Purdy has been diming in training camp, okay? The franchise Q quarterback is doing his thing. And this is honestly interesting. In football, this actually, in my opinion, right? I analyze a few sports here. In football, the franchise quarterback performing, having that confidence, really slinging it, practice, games, wherever, in the street, right? That confidence can really become contagious. It has a way, that swagger, of becoming contagious. And players with confidence, particularly these just high-level athletes playing with confidence, those are the types of things that create the culture that wins championships, that wins Lombardi trophies. We really, really love that. You know what we also really love? The rookie defensive line. The rookie defensive line is looking really promising so far. It's literally like the first day or two of training camp, but they're looking good. CJ West, the Niners rookie defensive tackle, right around 6'1", 320 pounds, not 220, 320 pounds. He's reportedly dominated his 1v1 matchups, defensive line versus offensive line. When the pads went on, CJ West went off. And we absolutely love that. And here's, first, I guess, I'll give an overview and then I'll sort of get into it. Okay, so overview. CJ West reportedly dominated his 1v1s. Alfred Collins, their defensive lineman from Texas, I believe he's a second-round draft pick, 6'6", almost 6'7", 335-pound-ish, man, huge man. He hasn't shown as much yet, like in his one-on-ones, but he serves a different function than West on the line. I will talk about that in just a second, and that's why these drills are important, and also game tape, knowing what player has a certain role, even the same position, possibly the same position, but a different role in that position, right? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk, and Mykel Williams, also the Niners, their first-round draft pick out of Georgia, the defensive lineman. He had a big win on his first one-on-one versus Trent Williams. And I hear that he just destroyed Williams in under like 2 seconds. So we love that Mykel Williams taking it to Silverback, the legendary Trent Williams on the first day. We love that. Now, going back, CJ West, he is the type of player that needs to wreak havoc. So him being active, winning these one-on-ones, it has to happen. It must happen. That's his job. Stop. Alfred Collins, however, he's a defensive tackle as well. However, he will not, look, he needs to be disruptive, but he is disruptive in a different way. CJ West is disruptive by winning one-on-ones. Okay? Those types. By disengaging, by being as unblockable as possible. Alfred Collins will show his value in the ability to absorb double team blocks, in the ability to not give way, to not give space in the running game. He will hopefully take up space and not give any. By he, I mean Alfred Collins, a huge defensive tackle. So different purpose. You want to see CJ West wreaking havoc, bowling ball all over, bowling a china shop, right? However, Alfred Collins, however, we want him to be disruptive. It will look different. It will look different because he'll be asked to do different things. For example, hopefully Alfred Collins will be able to take on 2 offensive linemen at once. So hopefully he will be able to take up the space that will necessitate 2 men on him. Okay. What that does is it opens up players like West, but more so Mykel Williams, Bosa, Samo on the defensive line, and Bryce Huff to key in, and destroy the quarterback. And this is just in the first 2 downs, right? Because the Niners go to their NASCAR package, which is these 4 quick, dynamic, super athletic defensive linemen in when it comes to passing downs. We're going to talk about that right now. Mykel Williams has been getting praise by Robert Saleh and also Trent Williams. They've said some interesting things. It seems as though Mykel Williams actually has some comfort rushing the passer from the defensive tackle position, from the inside position, right? This is so key because Nick Bosa can sort of do the same as well. Both of those guys can play like inside on that rush package. Now, I believe that probably only one player will. But anyways, long story short, it was described that there was a play in practice where Mykel Williams essentially, he hedged on the inside as a defensive tackle on the inside, right? Then he let up. Bosa stunted in front of it. So Mykel Williams drops into coverage or fakes it. Bosa stunts and takes that space. And then where Bosa was, Mykel Williams, he goes in and penetrates, gets into the backfield. It's that type of optionality that Mykel Williams, I believe, is going to bring. But it's in many ways, and I hope that this is true, Mykel Williams is almost ahead of his game because of his size, because he's such a big, strong, young athlete. He may very well be able to effectively play on the inside as a defensive line against those interior linemen, guards and centers. Big men. So I like that. I love the optionality that it appears the Niners have, to whereas in years before, they just needed 4 defensive linemen like healthy. They were like, but now it's like they really do have some run stoppers like Alfred Collins and CJ West. They can stop that run. I believe that they'll do a great job. But then a player like Mykel Williams, his ability to switch to the inside of the defensive line on those 3rd downs allows players like Samo, like Bryce Huff, and even like Bosa on the edges to really go at it with good matchups, and I like that a lot. Dee Winters, linebacker, has been all over the place. I guess he's just been everywhere. Some reports out of 49ers training camp say that essentially, if you squint and don't look, that Dee Winters looks a whole heck of a lot like Dre Greenlaw. That is huge praise, and I love that. So Dee Winters has been all over the place, had an interception at practice as well, and we love that. Here's the thing. Can Winters stay healthy? He hasn't been able to stay healthy in his career, and I believe that the way that he plays, it's going to be tough to be super durable the way that he plays, which is why it's good that Nick Martin is there to back everybody up, the Oklahoma State rookie, who the Niners drafted. So can Winters stay healthy? Can Dee Winters stay healthy? I don't know. And also, the one knock that I have on his play, I have seen, and I think that we'll continue to see teams use Dee Winters' aggressiveness against him. He tends to be over-aggressive. My only gripe on Dee Winters is that I've seen him multiple times get wrong-footed on defense that led to big gains on the offense. He can't do that. He can't play himself out of position to where it's like if he were like just a lazier man and athlete, like he would be all good because he would just be in that position. He wouldn't overextend. And I do worry, especially if Jair Brown is in there at the next level, I worry that Jair Brown specifically and Dee Winters, and bookmark this or whatever, I believe that specifically those two tend to misstep and have misstepped, and they can't misstep, which is just difficult, right? You really have to be on point and locked in on this defense. You can fly all over, but it has to be with a purpose, right? So I like what I'm hearing from Dee Winters, but I am still skeptical or whatever, because of I've just seen him wrong foot himself too many times on defense. We'll see what happens. But good to hear it. Ricky Pearsall's looked good over the middle, perfection. I love it. Ricky Pearsall has looked more than effective and efficient going over the middle of the field in these last few practices, and I love that. Here's why. A big component of the Niners offense this next season is going to be Juwan Jennings on the perimeter, as in like using his size on the perimeter, on those hitches, on those hook routes. He's really good going 9 yards, turning around, being a big target for Brock Purdy. I think he does that a lot on 3rd and Juwan's, right? He finds a good spot in the zone as well, right? Can just turn around, use his bigger body, 6'3", 6'4", to block out. Okay, Jennings has the perimeter with his size. George Kittle owns one side of the field over the middle, right? He owns that. That's where Ricky Pearsall on the opposite side is going to make his bread. I believe you got out here, Juwan Jennings. In here, Pearsall. Over here on the opposite side of the line, Kittle. Kittle needs a double team. Everybody's going to want to guard Kittle. That leaves the middle of the field for Ricky Pearsall to essentially, and this sounds weird, to work the middle of the field. What do I mean by that? I mean, he's got a quick release. Use that quick release, and then through slants, through angles, literally try to just run away from your defender. Jerry Rice could do that, slant on a dime, and just sort of run away darn near at angle against your defender. Made a living. The best receiver. One of the best football players of all time because of it. I think that Ricky Pearsall can really, really be effective and work the middle of the field. I have a case in point. Please go rewatch his touchdown against Tampa Bay. Look at how he used the middle of the field. That is repeatable. That must be repeated for the Niners' success this season. Also, one thing that on the flanks. So, Kittle, Pearsall, Jennings out here. On the flanks in the backfield, I'm really hoping that like a Jordan Watkins can play that flank role. Richie James played it in years past, and I really hope that Watkins can take that. He's a rookie as well, rookie wide receiver. I like what I'm hearing about Niners rookie running back Jordan James. Rookie running back out of the University of Oregon. I believe that Jordan James I think that he's a key to the Niners next season, and this is why. If Christian McCaffrey goes out for any prolonged period of time, or at all, he gets banged up. That happens. Running backs, they don't have the longest shelf life in the NFL or in any particular season, right? If he goes out, Jordan James is your bell cow. He is your number one back. He's the dude. It is not Isaac Urendo. It isn't even close. You're not even barking up the right tree with Isaac Urendo. Isaac Urendo is more of a specialty player. He's got the jets if you can break down the defense, and he's got some size. He's tougher to bring down if you're already a broken down defense. But Jordan James is going to get you there. I think that the Niners will have to rely on Jordan James a bit, and I think that he can do it. Not the biggest guy, but I really like his explosiveness through decisiveness and his his receiving ability out of the backfield. I think that he's a capable full-time running back, and out of the 5th round, I believe they got him in, or 6th. That's a steal. That's a find right there, and I think that he is. So bookmark that. I really like Jordan James. Dominic Pooty, offensive guard, 2nd year out of Kansas. He was beaten multiple times on one-on-ones. Take it for what it's worth. He was definitely beaten multiple times on one-on-ones. I like to give praise where it's due with those defensive linemen who beat him. However, You don't want to hear that a player that you're really hoping makes a leap like Dominic Pooney and solidify or help solidify the offensive line. You don't like to hear him getting beat. Trent Williams got beat too as well. Take it for what it's worth. We just hope that the Niners D-line is that good. Nick Bosa was routinely in the backfield on 7v7s. We love that. Rookie cornerback Upton Stout. I've been talking about him. The legendary Upton Stout has been making plays. Oh, y'all, check out either my ex Twitter profile, because I always have training camp highlights up there as well that I sort of do the retweets on. I'll definitely go through and I look at all the good content on the webs, and I try to curate that on my X. But I do have a play or a video of Upton Stout making a sick play against Ricky Pearsall. Here's the thing. He made a sick play against Ricky Pearsall down the field, and that's like his only potential weakness. Upton Stout is a destroyer, even though he's a smaller guy, like 5'8", right? He is a destroyer at that nickelback position on defense. I love his ability to make plays in the opponent's backfield. I believe that Upton Stout had like 20% of his tackles or plays were in the opponent's backfield this last season. I love that. I think Upton Stout's one of my players to watch. He's one of my rookies to watch. I believe in him, and if he can just make a few plays downfield, a few pass breakups, just like how he did, he'll gain that respect, and that will allow him to feast near the line of scrimmage where he excels. I think Bryce Huff, defensive end, could really thrive in a Niners uniform, if he puts the pedal to the metal. Bryce Huff, I believe, did he have double-digit sacks for Robert Saleh his rookie season for the New York Jets? Well, I think that it's up to him, and I think that the good news about the Niners defensive line is this. If Bryce Huff won't step up and get the sacks that he should get this season, I think that somebody will in his stead. He may be the X factor coming off the edge, though. He has had great success in Robert Saleh's scheme. I really hope that he can be that X factor coming off the edge, because, oh my gosh, there's too many people, too many defensive linemen to look after, to take account for if you get a guy like Bryce Huff operating on all cylinders. I love it. Rookie undrafted free agents, wide receiver Isaiah Nair has made some good plays. About 6'4", 215 pounds out of Indiana. He has made some plays downfield. He caught a 50-plus yard bomb thrown by Mac Jones just the other day. If Isaiah Nair can I put like 2 or 3 plays of 25 or 30 yards or more. That's asking for a good amount. If he can make a few, but that's a few downfield plays in preseason games, I can see the Niners. Keeping him on the roster and developing him. He has crazy long arms. He's really fast. Nair is this rookie from Indiana, this wide receiver, 6'4", 215 or so. Here's the only thing. The funny thing is that after the catch, if you look at his college highlights, he stumbles every time after the catch. It's so weird. I don't think that you would think that there'd be tons of after the catch potential, of runs after the catch potential with Nair. I actually don't see it. He's like not great at running after the catch. It's super strange. He seriously stumbles over his own feet a lot. Like a lot. It's a strange thing that I see sometimes, right? You see it. Somebody else pointed out as well on his football highlights though. Undrafted free agent cornerback Jacob Robinson's making waves. Remember that I talked about him or mentioned him. Jacob Robinson, he's a cornerback from BYU, undrafted rookie, 25 years old though. So he's got some life experience, right? He did the BYU route. I understand how that goes, right? Mark Madsen came into the league in the NBA as like a 27-year-old or whatever. We love it. We love it. He's seasoned and he's making plays. Jacob Robinson is, and we love that. He's been praised multiple times by defensive coaches. If he shows, I think that he'll be a practice squad guy. Remember that I said that. I think that Jacob Robinson, I've only seen I watched his highlights, only a few of his plays in the Niners uniform. I think that he's got potential, practice squad. Mac Jones has looked solid. Niners backup quarterback Mac Jones. Remember that I said this. Brock Purdy, Mac Jones, and Curtis Rourke, right? 7th round draft pick, I believe, from Indiana as well. Niners rookie Curtis Rourke. I don't think he's going to play this year. He's rehabbing from a knee injury. Remember those 3 quarterbacks? That is an underrated quarterback room. Please remember that I said that, because I honestly think that Brock Purdy, Mac Jones, and Curtis Rourke eventually could be like the quarterback room of a team that wins the Super Bowl. That's how good I think that, because I think that Mac Jones fits exactly what Kyle Shanahan wants, because he'll do exactly what Kyle Shanahan wants to a T. That's all that Shanahan wants, right? And then you have Brock Purdy, the franchise, who's looking good. Quick injury news. Renardo Green's out for a few weeks with a leg injury. That stinks. He was making a lot of plays up until the injury. And Jawan Jennings is out. Jawan Jennings is out with a calf injury. I believe the same calf he had issues with, lingering calf issues last season. I don't love that. The good news is that I hear that he was reaching in a contract extension, but that wasn't finalized. But then the calf injury came out. And here's what I'll say, is that sometimes calf injuries, you can't mess with them, right? You see in the NBA, you can't mess with a calf injury, especially a lingering one. And I just hope that it's not either something that's chronic or something that has to do with the back. Sometimes back injuries manifest in the calf, and I just hope that it's not something like that. It happened with Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors, different sport, but still. So, just had to get that injury stuff out of the way. Looking good. Here's to just a healthy, knock on wood, a healthy Niners preseason and training camp and some great practices. I believe that in a few weeks they practice against, it's either the Chargers or the Raiders. I believe it's one of those teams. But they have some good practices coming up with one of those squads. Hey, we got preseason just right around the corner. And there's no better place to talk about it and listen to it than C-Train Station. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your likes, your follows, your subscribes. Thank you so much. And there's no better place to listen to it than C-Train Station, though. So look, for your Niners content, for your San Francisco 49ers content, like, subscribe, do the follow thing, comment down low, and I'll see you next time at C-Train Station. Have a great one.